What's up, guys? Just kind of hanging out with the dogs on the couch. This goes on one end, and then Oliver piggybacking Morgan there. Anyway, just reading this magazine. It's Shooting Illustrated. It's actually a really good rag to read. Of course, anything gun related. If you guys are into guns, I'm sure you've seen all the magazines and catalogs. There's tons out there, even knives too. And perhaps I'll do a video in the future gathering all the ones that I subscribe to. And there's a lot that I've used to subscribe to, but lately I just don't have as much time. I haven't re-upped on my subscriptions, but like Tactical Knives magazine I used to get all the time. And there's a lot more variety these days too. So if you guys are really into this stuff, it's nice to actually get like on paper an actual catalog. Of course, you can go to YouTube, you can go on the forums and read this stuff anytime you want. But sometimes, you know, if you're in a waiting room somewhere, a doctor's office, it's nice to actually have like paper and ink. You know, it's becoming old school to have something that's not digital, but I truly believe in this. Every now and then it's nice to grab a book. Nothing wrong with Kindle. It's totally cool and obviously very convenient. But, you know, hard paper books and magazines and stuff like that, it's still fun for me anyway. But anyway, what I noticed when I got this in the mail is right on the cover here. By the way, this is put out by the NRA. You can see in the corner. Doomsday Prep, build your own bug out bag. All right, so right away I was very interested. And it came up, a few ideas popped in my head. Actually, a couple questions. The first question is obviously doomsday stuff, end of the world stuff. It broken down into two categories, I think. The first category is zombies, the zombie apocalypse. Fine. Obviously very popular through movies and stuff, and in mainstream society, people are kind of like, okay, fine, maybe we should get some extra food in case zombies pop up. All right. Then there's like the other section where it's everything else that can possibly end the world besides zombies. My question is, obviously it's really, really popular on YouTube. Do you think that the presence of prepping and the presence of the end of the world type stuff on YouTube carried over into mainstream media and into regular society in books and magazines and movies? Or do you think, what I think is probably more likely is that all this stuff in society happened to carry over onto YouTube. For me, it seems like I heard about survivalism and I you know, read all this stuff about you know, end of the world things on YouTube way before I started seeing new zombie movies and you know, new doomsday preppers on Discovery and all the other crap like that. So my first question in this video, really, if you can post in the comments, what do you think came first? YouTube, end of the world stuff, or other? You know, outside of YouTube. Not that it matters either way, it's obviously very present in both. So the next question is, what does this article have to do with? And actually, you know, it's nice to read articles like this. Obviously, you guys like the EDC videos and the prepping videos because it gives you ideas of, you know, what you can do yourself at home to prep for you and your family. So as I'm going through this magazine, so first of all, it's a great magazine. There's actually a really good article here on PDX-1 slugs. You know, I'm going to come across that before I come to the other thing. Let's see here. Boom, different stock options for shotguns. Yeah, great article showing some ballistics here on the PDX-1 slugs for 12 gauge. Really great rounds. But anyway, let's see. There's a whole thing in here on if you're a new shooter and you know, where to start with your guns and ammo and caliber and all that crap. What are you guys doing? You can't see, it's really dark. But Oliver and Morgan are going nuts together wrestling. Gosh, you too tired, buddy? You had a long day. I took him for a special walk. These two went on their own walk, nice and casual like, and he went nuts. So he was kind of running. Gus will actually run for a while. He's a sprinter. He's not a marathon runner, but when he sprints, he's got some power. He can, you know, makes me run. But anyway, I'll just explain the background noise there. So, yeah, lots of good articles in here. Batman 1911. Interesting. I don't really like it, but interesting anyway. All right, so here's where it starts. Going in 90 seconds. Okay, and the whole concept of this is building your own bug out bag. This gives you some ideas, and I had a great idea reading this. It's actually a kit, and I wanted to give you guys the idea to maybe make your own. But it goes into what this particular person, this author is Bryce Towsley, what he does for his bug out bag situation. And he has basically a 3-tier system where he has his first bag, which is for temporary bugging out, maybe like 1 to 3 days, preparedness. And it's a small bag, and he can get to it in like 15 seconds. Okay, anywhere in his house, he can get to it and get out of the house. Then the second tier is obviously more involved. It's a bigger, heavier bag with more things that you can, help you survive longer. Now, and there's a third one that's even bigger. The whole concept behind this is, okay, if I have 15 seconds to get out of the house, at least I can grab my one bag and be fine and be completely mobile and get out and do what I have to do. But if I happen to have more time for me and my family to get out of the house or to, gather our things, then I can go into the second and or third bag. And depending on the help he needs and everything else. A little side shoot here. He happens to have a SOG fixed blade and folder, but he went with the Leatherman multi-tool. I just think that's funny. I don't know. All right, so although the article is really good and I got some different ideas, the tier system I think is pretty interesting. It's a good concept, but I like even more is towards the tail end of this review, he shows this kit. All right, now this kit is like $2,000. The cost is $2,012, which is ironic since it's 2012. I'm sure that's where they came up with that figure. Anyway, this is from ianworldinc.com. There's the phone number. I have not checked this out or anything. I'm just doing this off the cuff. I just grabbed my cell phone to film this video. But this is a pretty neat little kit. It's a great idea, okay? If you happen to have $2,000 to blow on it, then that's fine. But a lot of you out there already have, a gun or two. You already have some of these supplies. And basically what this is, sorry for the lighting here. I'm just using my, my side lamp. Hopefully I can get a better shot at this. You have an AR-15 variant of some kind. You have an MRE. You have a basic first aid kit. You have a little pouch with some random things in there, a flashlight, some batteries, a knife, and a multi-tool. Okay, 2 magazines and 3 boxes of ammo. So that's a pretty versatile kit, right? It's all in one big hard case, a gun case. What I would suggest doing, even though I think this is a great kit, it's one thing to grab. That's the whole idea behind this thing, is that you just grab one thing. You don't have to worry about going in this closet, grabbing this bag. Okay, now I got to go in this closet, grab food. What if you got to get out of the house with 800 pounds of ammo, but you forget to grab the bag with the guns? This is a little of everything. I like this idea, but I would customize it. So my suggestion to you guys, if you're really into prepping, or let's say you're not really into prepping, but you want to have just something to grab, go out and get one of these cases. You can get one of these hard cases for a reasonable price. Of course, if you go like with a Pelican case, it might cost you $150, $200 to get something this big. It really is worth it. They're incredible cases. But let's say you get some knockoff brand. That's fine. You get a really big case. What I would do in this case, no pun intended, is I would swap out the rifle for perhaps 2 handguns. Okay. The reason being is that 2 handguns, it'll first of all give you more versatility. Okay, for the same size or less, you can have 2 different calibers. Obviously, I would go, in my opinion, with a, let's say, .22 revolver, as well as maybe like a 9mm semi-automatic, some kind of a Glock or something. All right, this way you have kind of your survival gun, and you also have your defense gun. Oliver. He's being a good boy. He wants to go outside, so I'm going to wrap this video up. I just want to see if I can catch him on film. He just jumped like 5 feet in the air. I've never seen him do that before. Come on, do something. All right, you're being a good boy, so I'm going to wrap this up, I promise. I got to take him out. Yeah, 2 pistols just to give you more room and more versatility. But I like the idea. Pack it with food, first aid supplies, and some tools. So anyway, I just want to show you that. Just a couple little things, just, off the cuff video. Great magazine to read if you're into gun stuff, and it's nice to see that there are some kind of prepping things going on. It all relates to each other. If you do the gun thing, you probably like knives a little bit. If you do knives, you probably like guns a little bit. If you do guns or knives, you probably like to, get into survival stuff. You like tools, you like outdoor things. It just kind of all melds together. No matter what your favorite subject is or hobby, sometimes you have some kind of interest in these other hobbies that kind of go along with it. So I'm just going to keep talking as if I'm not paying attention because I want to see if I can get him jumping. I don't want him to cry. That makes me sad. And jump once and we can go. I think it's crazy. I've never seen him do it before. In the corner of my eye, I saw him jump like 5 feet. Yes? No? Maybe? Good boy, Oliver. No more teasing. We're going to go outside. All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate you watching the video. And yeah, Shooting Illustrated. It's a good one to read. Good articles. All right. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.